And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym of Crypto, episode 505. Today is Friday, November 22nd, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. And today, bloody Friday today for sure. Not a lot of news out here when it comes to cryptocurrency because the price itself is taking over the headlines. But to get into those prices, here, let me actually bring up the article cam here. It's not looking good, people. It is not looking good today. It's the all-time low of the year, or excuse me, not of the year, but the since May 2019 this year. So hasn't been this high, or this low in a while. What's going on with Tony Nolly? And for some reason, of course, I cannot bring up this this photo, but I'll get it in a second. Just to go over the prices, Bitcoin is at $7,144 today, down 5.65%. Ethereum's at $148, down negative 6.45%. Ripple, where we've been talking about a good buy-in price, is even lower. Is at 0.229. That's right, 22 cent, a little bit under 23 cent today, down 4%. Bitcoin Cash at $205.45, down 7.92%. Litecoin at $46.73, down negative 6.54%. And EOS is at $2.59, down 6.79%. This is crazy, people. The prices are low. If you still have capital on hand, I mean, it's definitely a fire sale. All right, let me see why I'm not sure why I can't get this article cam to open up. Who knows what's going on? Something new every time with these programs. But as Bill O'Reilly once said, we'll do it live. We will just do it live. Like I said, not a lot of news stories today outside of that price. Looks like cryptocurrency market once again enters state of extreme fear. Munchkin's number 2 says private cryptos pose threat to government power and will be watched. Harvard University stages digital currency war simulation. ICE officially confirms December 9th launch of cash-settled Bitcoin futures, and Alibaba filmmaking arm to distribute new movie rights via tokens. That's right. A few more shout-outs. What's going on? Shannon Allen, Sergeant Crypto, Somo Vid. Wife says no. Yes, wife says no, says love this. Accumulation all the way down. There we go. Sergeant Crypto said people are calling for below 6K. My buy orders are set. I've been hearing the same thing. I've been hearing some low numbers. Of course, a lot of people are hoping for the doom and gloom, but we'll see how low it goes this go round. Jizzy Max says it is a good time to buy. That is for sure. Here, before we jump into these stories, let me see if I can possibly get this browser cam to work again. And all of a sudden, there it is. It's working. I don't know what goes on with these programs. All right, cryptocurrency market once again enters state of extreme fear. This is hilarious. Some of the pictures, they got the Home Alone kid there. Everyone with the shock and surprise face. It looks like the crypto fear and greed index is dropping again. It's currently sitting at 20 out of 100 on the index, which counts as extreme fear. I've never heard of this, but I thought this is a pretty interesting article. The cryptocurrency markets are in a panic as Bitcoin continues to free fall. It's trading at around $7,150 at the time of this writing. A drop from just $8,700 just a week ago. Of course, it's saying it's calling fear and unrest, or as they call it, crypto fear and greed. The sentiment right now is extreme fear on that index. Of course, no one has a reason why it's plummeting. Everyone's giving different opinions. Maybe it's because of China and some of the headlines they're making. Who knows? But with Bitcoin plummeting, the entire cryptocurrency market has gone right with it. The market cap of the entire crypto market has, as a result, dropped under the $200 billion mark for the first time since May of 2019. So this drop is probably going to continue, especially going over to the weekend. As I said, if it's dropping now, the price isn't going to go up before Thanksgiving when people are about to travel, celebrate a holiday. So again, it could get lower. As a couple of people already said, it might go down to 6K. I've seen some calls for mid to low 5Ks. It may continue to get lower as the holidays come upon us, and I guess it remains to be seen what will happen afterwards. And of course, the biggest deal of all this is that next year is a halvening. So if that halvening happens and the price of Bitcoin skyrockets, this is still a fire sale for the price if you're invested long term. So we'll see what happens. In other news, Munchkin's number 2 says private cryptos pose threat to government power and will be watched. That's right, keeping an eye on you. Justin Muzinich, the Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Treasury, has raised the specter of a not-so-distant future when private digital currencies have stripped some of the power from governments when it comes to monetary policy. So this article is on CoinDesk. Without getting too deep into it, it's something we've already talked about before. With cryptocurrency, you might see the world's first trillionaires. And Libra itself kind of shows that possibility through that project, right? So Munchkin is coming out basically talking about, yes, the United States has begun having conversations and talks and figuring out what would happen or what would America look like if the United States dollar was not the world's leading currency, and what would happen if other cryptocurrencies actually proliferated and people started using them. So Treasury Secretary Stephen Munchkin's number 2 again said, quote, not only have implications for private business, but also for a number of activities for the government is responsible for in regards to, again, digital currency space and the growing trend for financial intermediation by non-bank companies. Of course, a lot of people said he was more than likely talking about Facebook's Libra, of course, when you talk about private businesses and cryptocurrencies at this point. And he also mentioned a lot of, many other potential threats from the rise of technology. This technology, including national security, the monetary base, financial stability, and consumer protections and privacy. So a lot to take in. Again, you can read on this on CoinDesk. But the most important part to me is that these talks are happening. The whole thing where we're trying to figure out, is our government talking about this or not? Which, by the way, is crazy. We have to try to figure that out because we're using our taxpayer money. We have no clue where the government stands on the cryptocurrency market. But they are having these conversations behind closed doors. And it's for the reasons what we already know why they're not coming out saying anything. It's because they're scaring them. They have no clue what the world will look like if a cryptocurrency, especially one led by a private company like Facebook, how that would change not only the dynamics, but the power dynamics, of course. So we shall see. Jay Guillory was going on and said, ain't nobody scared, no dips, bye. There it is. Harvard is also in the news. This story is very similar to the one I just stated. Harvard University stages digital currency wars crisis simulation. That is right. I love this photo. It's on Cointelegraph. They have some of the best artwork in the industry. It looks like a Satoshi or a little Bitcoin is opening up the war chest. See all the weapons and missiles here. Howard University's Kennedy School carried out a live simulation of a White House National Security Council meeting on November 19th, featuring former senior administration officials and thought leaders. The digital currency wars, quote, the event examined a potential future scenario following a North Korean missile test potentially enabled by Chinese proposed digital yuan. If economic sanctions fail, how will the U.S. wield power? So this war game was basically saying if China's proposed digital yuan actually carried weight and began to take over at least the Pacific, and North Korea did evade United States sanctions using the digital yuan to eventually actually launch a missile, what recourse would we have? And some of the outcomes were actually surprisingly not all the way in the United States' favor. It said, the simulated Treasury Secretary pointed out, quote, we would not successfully starve North Korea economically without the cooperation of China, and certainly not if their objective is to see us fail. With that being said, they basically said where we stood if this were to happen would be to cooperate with China. We would have to figure out how to cooperate with them. I guess, how to figure out how to still continue to sanction North Korea but keep China happy. Something we've already done. But they also, in this thought experiment, put the weaponization of SWIFT here, where he says it was providing less effective, although some at the meeting still intent on hardening the system and relying on existing strategies. The big deal here is the SWIFT system and the banking system. This might not work or might not even be a factor if digital currencies like the Chinese yuan or the petro yuan in general, the digital yuan were to take off. So It's crazy to see this, but again, it's important because now you have the financial secretary of the Treasury, talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and where it's going in regards to the United States, as well as Harvard doing actual war games and crisis simulations to the effect of digital currency leading the forefront in those crisis simulations. So it's something that everyone is now talking about, regardless of the price being at $7,150. Big news for ICE. They're back in the news. They've officially confirmed December 9th launch of cash-settled Bitcoin futures. That's right. The Intercontinental Exchanges, ICE's back platform, has officially confirmed its forthcoming launch of a cash-settled Bitcoin futures contract. The news was released on November 22nd. ICE, the operator of 23 leading global exchanges, including the New York Stock Exchange, revealed that the contract will be listed on the ICE Futures Singapore as of December 9th. So this will be in Singapore. If you're into this type of game, this derivatives game, then this is good news. It's definitely a base hit where more people are going to become involved in cryptocurrency in Singapore once they see that, hey, if we're interested in future contracts, we can now settle it in actual cash or Bitcoin at the time of the settlement. You don't have to wait around any longer. But of course, it's still a derivative on top of derivative. So we always tell people, why buy the future when you can buy the actual underlying asset at this time. There isn't like under other markets where they're selling you the future because you can't buy the asset. People are choosing not to here. So I say buy the underlying asset. That will actually help shape the market as we see it now, with the actual price point of the market is, instead of relying on a third party to do business in the market. But either way, again, it's a base hit. It's going to bring more institutions around, and it's going to bring a lot more of those accredited investors around as well. Valdez Granville, hello. What's going on, S1 Dubs? What's going on, Warriors? Make sure you smash that like and share button, people. All right, last but not least, ending on a good news story on this Bloody Friday. Alibaba filmmaking arm to distribute new movie rights via tokens is being reported. Big news, of course, that's Jack Ma, Alibaba. I'm surprised they didn't just say TRX tokens. We all know Tron's Justin Sun is like the grandson or the godchild of Jack Ma. So Alibaba, who said they had no plans in the cryptocurrency arena, looks like they're actually looking to tokenize some of their film projects. Alibaba's group movie making arm, Alibaba Pictures, reportedly plans to tokenize distribution rights for its new film, Striding into the Wind. Chinese English language publication China.org.cn reports on November 22nd. So this is not the first time we're seeing this. This is the first time we're seeing it from Alibaba. But we've already started talking about projects that want to tokenize their movie project, so that no longer they're no longer beholden to one or two producers anymore, or one or two people who are going to fund the entire project. Now the actual end customer, the person who they actually making the movie for, the person they're marketing to, can buy a piece of those distribution rights. Looks like this company has purportedly signed an agreement with New York-based decentralized entertainment platform Breaker, formerly known as Singular DTV, to distribute the film overseas using its blockchain platform. Again, I think this is pretty cool. We talked about this story before when we saw it originally with another project doing the same thing. But I think it's pretty cool that, hey, if I want to see a movie, I can actually invest in the making of it, or the distribution of it at least, so that when you do go see those movies 3 or 4 times, as well, the Joker just came out. I know a lot of people say, I want to go see the Joker 3 times. What if you actually owned a piece of that? You would be encouraging everyone to go see that movie. And I think it will work more for marketing, where you can almost have word of mouth marketing, where you don't even need to pay an entire department to do it anymore. It's like, no, we got regular people on Instagram who are invested in this movie, who are going to market it for us. So I think it's a great idea. I can't wait to see how this market matures. I expect a lot of pushback, especially in Hollywood, where you have a lot of old money who are used to like no, this is the way the process works. Like, this group invests in it, we make it, the end customer gets it. A lot of people won't like that new technology of the end customer investing in the movie and maybe even having a say of the storyline or how it ends or something, right? So I think this would be a cool thing to see. Right now, as it's being reported here, film financing is generally limited to a small number of high wealth investors, but with tokenization, smaller investors could also benefit from a movie's success. So just like Berkshire Hathaway followed the footsteps of the cryptocurrency industry and is basically trying to fractionalize different shares of stocks, we're going to see that here in Hollywood or in the movie industry, where instead of those small number of high wealth individuals investing, that market is going to open up to anyone who's interested in the film and theatric industry. So I can't wait to see. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And I think it's going to lead to even more projects being made, which is crazy right now. You know, you have Hulu, Netflix, regular cable services, TV, movies. Like, there's a fight right now for content. So to see content actually being able to be financed by mom and pops and retail investors, I think we'll see even more options in the coming future. So can't wait to see that. Other than that, folks, that is the show for the day. Like I said, not a lot of news. The price is terrible. So hopefully that thing will change around over the weekend, though I don't expect it. We might be seeing this drop going into Thanksgiving. So hold on tight. Make sure you have your buy and sell orders in place, depending on what you're looking to do at this volatile time. But again, blood in the streets. This is when money is made, people. So pay attention and make sure you're trading. Cheers.